Welcome, Mr. Doe and other distinguished members of the board. Team 4 has put together this project proposal presentation to make sure that you are well informed of all the pertinent information you need in making a decision on whether or not our team continues with the development of our design challenge. In this presentation, we will explore the design challenge, discuss how we narrowed down our proposed solutions, and finally an explanation of the solution itself. First off, our design challenge question: how to synthesize and align varying styles of learning through adaptive models. This project is geared toward aiding social science instructors and course designers in cultivating dynamic and successful students with higher informational retention rates. This will be done by implementing software programs within learning management systems to create instant feedback, task loops, and other realigned learning opportunities. The use of adaptive learning to increase information retention among social science students is pertinent. Taking into consideration that learning styles, goals, and prior knowledge differ from learner to learner, this proposal seeks to identify how online social science instruction should adapt to adult learners in higher education to increase information retention in asynchronous learning environments. In previous generations, learning styles and other factors were given marginal consideration in a rigid academic structure that demanded conformity above consummation. The use of adaptive learning in asynchronous environments serves to sever three common chords that have been identified as obtuse obstacles to information retention: subject matter obstruction, psychological variations, and engagement with feedback. As the industry of learning continues to expand its scope into the digital realm through asynchronous learning, Team 4 Inc. wishes to allow its customers to continue to offer their students educational opportunities that reaps the benefits of personalized, adaptive experiences. As the brainstorming process began to emerge, the team met using Google Hangout and provided each member an open environment to discuss and explore different solutions to the issue. Pros and cons. We discussed creating new content and what that might look like, but due to time constraints, we decided that this project would be better developed using content that was already pre-developed and be a time and cost-saving solution. The team discussed the use of Smart Sparrow as a possible course creation tool. Several members had used this tool in the past passively and really liked its adaptive functionality. After spending a short period of time testing Smart Sparrow, it was determined that the time constraints on this project and the sharp learning curve of the tool precluded its use. Schoolology was also considered. One member had a significant amount of experience in Schoolology, but testing showed that this tool just didn't provide the amount of adaptive functions as would be needed to showcase adaptive learning. Elodemy was also a useful online platform that had some capability of creating feedback loops through virtual games and online tools, such as click-through discussion. One group member brought up the pieces that could be exported for use. Finally, we discussed creating a homegrown HTML course where team members could create a website using HTML and possibly CSS to create a custom product. As this solution provided the most flexibility, the team voted and chose this option. Hindsight is 2020. Our team had a hard time meeting up remotely and providing meaningful input to the solution. This was likely in part due to working remotely on the project. We would recommend to meet synchronously and in person when possible, early on in the project planning stage. This would have provided a clear path for all team members when making decisions on the project's path. Our proposed solution includes producing 3 HTML modules focused on 3 different types of adaptive learning. Rule-based, where the system uses direct learner input for adaptivity. Sequence algorithm-based, where the stored metrics are used for adaptivity. And lastly, preference-based, where the learner chooses what path to take. We are hoping to use the built-in capabilities mentioned earlier to showcase each type of adaptive learning as the content is being taught. This will not only provide a theoretical foundation, but also an example of a topic to be used in the learner's future projects. This project has 2 primary goals. First, to help social science instructors and students understand and identify social science learning through rule-based, sequence-based, and preference-based adaptive learning. And second, help social science instructors and course designers to recognize adaptive learning tools. As learners work through the course, their work will target the following terminal objectives. By the end of the course, with the use of working aids, the student should be able to identify, compare, and contrast social values through adaptive learning reinforcement, demonstrate understanding of basic social science terms and historic figures. Performance assessment. At the end of the course, a Likert Scale assessment will be administered to both the designers and learners, assessing the achievement of primary goals, terminal objectives, and competencies. This selected response tool will provide numerical data that can be assessed by the team. To prevent skewed data in the form of small samples or personal objectivity, the design team will compare the results of the Likert Scale assessment to the results of the 3 built-in module quizzes in the course itself. This will provide both qualitative and quantitative data that will describe the learner's understanding of the lessons and their response to the adaptive learning tools that will be used. Rationale. Adaptive learning is always evolving, and through the administration of this course, our team will strive to showcase that in a fun, interactive environment, students can learn about social science through the lens of adaptive learning, including rule-based, sequence algorithm-based, and preference-based tools. Through the administration of instant feedback loops and constant assessment, the team will be able to present a product that indeed works to retain learners and expand their understanding of online tools for those in social science and higher education.